What is going on, everyone? Welcome to the Investing Bros live show. It is 3 p.m. It's November 20th, a fine Wednesday, and we've got a whole lot to talk to you about today. You do not want to go anywhere, but some of the biggest news of the day is that NVIDIA earnings come out at the close today, a little bit after the live show ends, and there's a lot of people saying that that could have some massive impact on crypto prices like Bitcoin, but I would even think mostly some of those AI cryptos. Could we about to see a major boom after what is perceived to be more than likely a positive earnings report for NVIDIA? We got other headlines here. I got my whiteboard right here, my notes. Some other headlines you guys should be expecting us to talk about here. We got some new Bitcoin buyers that are buying in bulk right now. Robinhood could be a top pick based off of future deregulation trading. Keep an eye on that one. Michael Saylor is talking to Microsoft about potentially adding Bitcoin to their treasury. Also, you're going to want to stick around for this one because we are doing a KAS Price Prediction towards the end of the show. You don't want to miss a single second. Watch all the way to the end. But before we do that, if you enjoy our shows here, make sure to help us out and smash that like button. Hit subscribe. But we've got to roll the intro. Mr. T. Shroom, how are you doing today, my friend?
I'm feeling much better than I deserve. All-time highs for Bitcoin yet again. I don't think we've gone a day without hitting new all-time highs. It feels crazy. I'm ecstatic. My phone's blowing up with all kinds of people wanting to know about Bitcoin. How are you doing today, Tim?
Dude, I'm doing good. I'm very excited about what's happening here. Can't wait to get into the news and the charts. Another fantastic day to talk about some fantastic stuff as people are making a lot of money right now in the markets. A couple of chats here. I'm seeing that they're making me chuckle here. Dips for Buying says, very high tech, Tim. Listen, here's the thing. We live in a world of technology. We're here talking about crypto, but it's hard to beat the good old fashioned, just write it down. You guys see my notes right there? You guys want to comment on my handwriting? Is it good? Is it bad? Compare it to yours. Let me know what you think of my handwriting. But yeah, I have this whiteboard here. You're not gonna be able to see it, but behind is a massive whiteboard. I can do some longer term planning. I love, typing is fun. Typing can work, but I like the old fashioned writing things down. Maybe Crux put a poll up there. Who prefers to write things down over typing it? I have a feeling that more people are going to be in my camp than in the newer camp. I don't know. We'll have to see how that one is. The other comment I saw here, B-Ball Golf 72 says, like and subscribe, then create another email to make another account, and then like and subscribe again. Shout out B-Ball Golf. Thank you for that very much. So Leslie Herbert says, I use a whiteboard too. Listen, I think we're gonna be able to tell here, T-Shroom, as people type in what they do, if they're over or under the age of probably 30. We'll be able to know how old you are based off of what you answer to this question. Whiteboards and writing things down or typing things. Listen, I write things down. I'm 30 years old. That's the cutoff. 30 years old. We'll know how old you are about the 30 line. Anyway, T-Shroom, anything you want to say to the people? Gosh, we always get off track here early in the show, but we're about to get back on track. Anything you want to say to people before we jump in and look at some bubbles and some charts and some news and cover these markets for everybody today?
I thought that I had a lot more NVIDIA than I had. It turns out I had started buying NVIDIA in my IRA, and it turns out I only bought like less than $500 worth, and I thought that I had set an automatic buyer, and it didn't. So it just goes to show you have to remember to go and check in on your automatic buying, and I am so underexposed to NVIDIA. A lot of people are getting a lot more gains than I would, but it's good. It's okay.
Hey,
because I've still got a lot of Bitcoin.
Yeah. Listen, everybody makes money in different ways. I'll tell you this. Less people making money today in the altcoin space. If you go ahead and go to my screen as we look at the bubbles, it's a sea of red out there. And what's a little alarming is none of the bubbles are huge, and yet some of them have negatives of upwards of 20% like GOAT over here. We warned you the other day that Peanut, RIP Peanut. I don't relish in saying what I'm about to say. I don't think that Peanuts. I'm trying not to laugh too because it's somewhat funny, but I don't think that Peanut's going to make it, guys. Oh gosh, T-Shroom, give me a second. That is, I'm trying not to laugh out of a very sad story.
Peanut was a good squirrel. Let us know in the chat. Did you actually
Gosh.
follow the TikTok account for the original Peanut? If you did, we'd really love to know, because that is something that's extremely important to us and important to the markets. Let's get back to the bubbles.
R.I.P. Peanut. That's what we'll end there. But again, the meme world as a whole is pretty down. Popcats down 19.1. Like we said, Goats down, just boosted up to 21%. Bonk 13%. Pepe 11%. Whiff 12%. H-bar is not a meme, but of course H-bar had been on a little bit of a roll here recently. It's down 13%. The meme's definitely taken a little bit of a dip, and that really kind of goes into the saying of it's going back into Bitcoin. It goes into Bitcoin. Why? Because it's Bitcoin season. This is the Bitcoin chart right here. We're going to come back and look at it in just a couple of minutes, but take a look at this one on the 1 hour chart. Guess what's been performing very well since about 2 days ago's bottoming out? This is the Bitcoin dominance chart. That means Bitcoin is picking up steam. In fact, I think we're currently working on setting new cycle highs here with Bitcoin dominance. We surpassed the peaks we had just back here on the 13th. I told you guys before that I didn't think we would peak out. Years ago, we predicted 60% dominance. We got there. A couple of weeks ago, I said, hey, it's really looking likely like a 62 to 63% dominance still on the way. And I don't think I'm wrong. Again, I think that we hit 100K before true alt season starts. I think we hit 100K before we truly reverse in our Bitcoin dominance. And so far, my prediction on that is looking pretty highly likely. That being said, we're going to talk about Bitcoin charts here in a little bit. Again, we're going to do KAS Price Prediction later. We'll take a look at some other coins. I'll tell you one altcoin that's performing well today, and it was dead a couple of weeks ago, supposedly. That's Cardano. Real quickly, T-shirt, look at my screen here. Look at Cardano. Just continuing to just go on and on and on. We'll look at Cardano's chart here later on the show if I get a second, because there's some interesting observations I want to show you on lower time frames. But Cardano up. It's one of the few altcoins up. It's up 8% today, T-Shroom, since the opening of the daily candle. It was a lot higher earlier today, but let us know in chat, what altcoins are you guys buying? Even though it's not alt season yet, alts are looking ready to rip. Who's buying the dips? What are you buying on the dips? I'd be more than happy to read some of those out there and hear what you guys are doing. But T-Shroom, before we get into Bitcoin charts and go into details of Bitcoin charts, we got some bullish stories here. Let's start off with probably the biggest story for Bitcoin today. It's Michael Saylor. And usually you would think if I was going to say Michael Saylor was the headline, that means that Michael Saylor's buying more Bitcoin. But in fact, it's not that Michael Saylor's buying more Bitcoin. He's about to talk to somebody into buying some more Bitcoin. What's happening with Michael Saylor, T-Shroom?
Michael Saylor to present to the Microsoft board next month about buying Bitcoin for its treasury. Of course, Microsoft, one of the biggest companies in the world, a multi-trillion-dollar company. They have about $78 billion in cash just sitting on the sidelines. Few other companies have that much cash. Berkshire Hathaway comes to mind. Apple Computers comes to mind. But Tim, this is extremely bullish. What do you think the chances are of Michael Saylor cracking that nut, to stay on the squirrel theme, cracking that nut of the Microsoft board?
We're really going to get to test his orange pilling techniques when it comes to higher institutional investors. You know, I read something the other day that he said he believed that if he were to be able to talk to Warren Buffett, he could orange pill Warren Buffett. Of course, Warren Buffett is a known Bitcoin naysayer. So we're going to see if he can convince Microsoft. Maybe next meeting we're having him talk to Warren Buffett. By the way, Warren Buffett has like what? It's like 200 million.
Yeah, it's a lot.
He has a lot of liquidity right now. He's taking a lot of profit. I almost said 200 million, but 200 million is like nothing. Is it like 2 billion or?
Yeah, no. I'm looking.
He has a lot of liquidity right now. He could go buy something with it.
Yeah, 325 billion was a headline from Yahoo Finance on November 2nd. So it could potentially
300 billion in liquidity.
Yeah. That's their stockpile, and
that's okay. That's Berkshire. Okay. It's not his. That's the company's. But I know
that's not his personal. That's not his personal holding. Yeah, I have no idea what his.
Too much. More money than I will ever see in my lifetime.
But that's the thing is like that's the real. They say more money, more problems. That's the real struggle when you're at that level of Berkshire Hathaway. How do you allocate $325 billion? It's like, what is Elon up to that we can fund, or what are the Saudis up to that we can fund? And even then, you might only put a dent in that $300 billion. But Tim, I wouldn't mind having those problems.
Yeah, I might mind that. That's a lot of problems with a lot of money like that. Let's keep going, though. We have more buying happening here.
That's right.
Some companies continue to buy Bitcoin the last couple of days. T-Shroom, who's buying right now? What are these other companies that are buying?
Well, Tim, you've probably never heard of them, but they are hearing of Bitcoin, and now they're pulling the trigger. Biopharmaceutical company Acrex Pharmaceuticals is buying up to $1 million in Bitcoin as a treasury reserve asset, and also Rumble. Michael Saylor to help Rumble CEO add Bitcoin to its balance sheet.
Yeah, he's busy.
There's a fun little tweet here. Said Chris Polvolsky said, should Rumble add Bitcoin to its balance sheet? Michael Saylor said, yes, I would be happy to discuss why and how with you. And then Chris says, DMing you now. Could it be a publicity stunt? It's possible. But maybe. Rumble has a lot of content creators on there, a competitor to YouTube, has a lot of very, very Bitcoin forward folks that produce content over there on Rumble. So let us know. Do you have a Rumble account? Would you watch us on Rumble? Let us know in the comments. Let us know in the chat.
Matt C's in chat here, one of our favorite people here in the Bros community. He's one of our mods. He said Jim Cramer said that Microsoft would never buy Bitcoin. So it might be go for a launch. There's the old classic inverse Cramer for you. We'll see how that one goes. Before we jump in here, we're going to have to take a look at a couple charts, but let's talk about the big story, though, that might have some major implications for Bitcoin and crypto prices tonight. That's the main story of the day. NVIDIA has their earnings coming out in the next hour or so, a little bit over an hour from now, but it's coming out here very, very soon, anticipating that we're going to see some positivity there, and that positivity could build some confidence in consumers to buy. T-Shroom, more information on that. What's happening? What do people need to know about the NVIDIA earnings report, expectations, and what that could do to prices of crypto assets?
Absolutely. We don't talk about crypto very often, but when it's we don't talk about stocks that often. But when it's a headline as big as this one, we have to cover it. NVIDIA to report third quarter earnings after the bell. This is how CNBC is covering it. NVIDIA third quarter revenue is expected to be $33 billion, according to LSEG estimates. Fourth quarter sales is forecasted at $37.08 billion due to AI demand. NVIDIA could also reveal demand for company's next-gen AI chip, Blackwell, which is the key to the company's future growth. NVIDIA's share price has tripled in 2024, but sales growth is slowing. So it could spell a bit of a slowdown for NVIDIA. That's still going to be higher highs and higher lows. But it could potentially put a damper on the AI cryptos and kind of fulfill a little bit of the thesis that I've been saying, is that just because NVIDIA and OpenAI are doing well doesn't necessarily mean that the rest of AI is going to be profitable. So,
well, maybe I misunderstood. So you're saying that they're expecting it to be a little bit less. What's the expectation here? So the expectation I saw was 33 billion. Is that what was quarter two's earnings? Maybe I'm forgetting that number.
Well, so quarter two, this is quarter three versus what the expectation for quarter four. So this is quarter three, 33. Yep. They're expected to boost that, right? But their sales for quarter four, their sales are slowing here, according to CNBC, even though their share price has tripled in 2024. Yeah. So look, NVIDIA and OpenAI, they're different companies, but they're going to continue to have a lot of success. And they're the ones, I think, that are riding the AI wave the best and the most profitably. If you're interested in this conversation, Crux and I kind of got into it a little bit this morning about the future of AI crypto. I think there are some names that will continue to do well. Tau, BitTensor, and potentially Render will continue, I think, to do well. But I'm just not someone who's very bullish on crypto AI.
Yeah, I think crypto AI is one of those more risky plays. There's that potential chance of a big upside, but there's also that concept of saying, maybe it's a little overpriced already. And so as the real numbers start coming in, how do you kind of see that offsetting of people who are just buying for the hype and now they're going to take your profit? into other newer investors. It's going to be interesting to see how AI plays out. I have a couple holdings in AI just because, not large portion of my bag. It's not going to ruin me if AI doesn't end up doing well. But just in case AI does pop off, which it has the chance of doing it, I hold a little bit for just in case. Before we jump into the Bitcoin charts, though, real quickly, got a super chat here from Crypto for Everybody. Good question here. He said, "Hey, dear bros, what are your thoughts on Bitcoin's meme dog? Memes are normally not mine, but fell kind of in love, the cute pet of our Bitcoin." Crypto for Everybody, it's funny that you say that. I am not a meme guy whatsoever. I'm interested to hear what T-Shroom says here in a second. But I was on with Paul Barron last week. Some of you guys probably watched that video. It was fun. Always love talking with Paul. And he asked me towards the end of the show, he said, "Tim, if you could only invest in one small cap, what would you look at?" A small cap meme coin specifically. And I told him, I was like, "Listen, I'm not a meme guy. You're not talking to the right guy for this one, but I will take a stab here. I have heard a lot of rumblings about dog. It's obviously connected with runes. I think runes could potentially have a very spicy bull market here. So I like dog. Am I the foremost expert on meme coin selections? Heck no. So, I mean, my liking of dog coin, that means about as much as Michael Saylor's opinion of how to run the veer in college football. I don't think that he has any knowledge of it whatsoever.
Great reference.
Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe he's an expert in the veer, and I'm totally, insulting him right now. I do apologize. But I like dog. For somebody who doesn't know and is not a meme genius, I like dog coin. It was the one I said I would invest. It would be my one choice if I was going to go into a small cap meme. T-Shroom, quickly on your side, you probably know a little more than me, but what are your thoughts?
No, you'd be wrong. I don't know anything about that one.
Gosh. What about the veer? Do you know anything about the veer?
Now, the veer, I steer clear from the veer. That's my rule with that one. Always steer clear.
Right there. All right.
Let's take a look at the charts, Tim.
Let's go look at Bitcoin. All right. Enough nonsense here. Bitcoin breaking out here on the daily chart. We told you yesterday that we kind of had readjusted the level of resistance in play here. We readjusted to a flat level of resistance, which we broke out actually temporarily yesterday, came back down, retested support pretty much as we kind of said it would. This actually is a good prediction we made that we could test the bottom end of this once again. We've now popped up again for the second day in a row to new all-time highs, almost getting to $95,000. Technically, I mean, maybe some exchanges did. Here on Coinbase, we only made it to $94,989. Didn't quite get that 9.5, but got very, very close. We are since then, we've pulled back here slightly over the last couple of hours, although we're getting a small bounce. I'm going to tell you where I think Bitcoin could fall to here in a second, but what I'll make sure you understand is this formation, if I am right about the simplicity of this formation, conservatively, this would send the price of Bitcoin up over or right almost to that $100,000 prediction we've talked about for a while. That's conservative. Of course, if I was going to get a little more aggressive, if I was going to be, talking about a Bitcoin bull flag, is actually a bull pennant because it's a triangle. Now you change that conversation from 100 up towards 110 is the area you're looking for. And I'll be honest with you, while I think there should be some resistance at 100K, I think don't underestimate how many sell orders are going to be at like 99,980 or 100,000, or maybe you have a couple right above 100K at like $100,100. But if we start to make a move towards 101, okay, that's going to be my level of kind of like, all right, if we hit 101, that's $101,000. I think instead of reversing at 100,000, the reversal is probably going to come closer towards 110. I think there's going to be a pretty easy road between 100 and 110 if we can break it cleanly. Why? Because I am anticipating, I think most of you are as well, a heavy lot of selling right in here as we touch 100K. And so we'll have to see how that one plays out. We do know sometimes when you think you know what's going to happen in the market, and it seems to be a public opinion, that gives you a low probability of being right. But in this case, I just think the amount of sales that will be right there, it's going to be a little too much to be wrong on this one. I would love to see how that one plays out and to find out if I am wrong. Let's get into the shorter time frames, though, and talk about Bitcoin before we get to 100K, because that could happen this very weekend. But where could we be going within the next couple of hours? As I said, we're getting a small bounce at the moment. But if you take a look at the oscillators here, you're going to see that we did get, it is curving here a little bit, but we did get a sell signal earlier today. Red reversal, bearish momentum, and that's negative money flow. Is the money flow kind of going positive right now? Yes. Is the oscillator slowing down? Yes, but that could change if we start to fall later on during this hour and we don't close a bullish candle. That could all go back down to negative, and it's still a sell signal. You guys know, if you guys follow us whatsoever, this show, I forgot to mention in the beginning, is brought to you guys by Luxago. These fantastic indicators. Stick around to the end of the show. We've got a huge announcement for you guys when it comes to Luxago. You do not want to miss it. But this show is brought to you by Luxago, the greatest trading tool out there. And my favorite strategy, my go-to trading strategy when using Luxago is to see those sell signals. Again, red reversal, bearish momentum, negative money flow. If you want to learn how to use it, join our VIP trading group. I'll show you how. But the target I always keep an eye on is coming back down to the smart trail of that same time frame. In this case, we're talking about the hourly chart. Where's that smart trail taking us? High end 92,900. Let's just call it 93 because it's still rising a little bit. But it's calling down to 93, potentially as low as back down towards 92.5. Okay, so 92.5 to 93 is a realistic support level that would remain bullish. It would remain higher highs and higher lows. But with the sell signal that we're currently under right now, I wouldn't be surprised to see that 1 hour smart trail touched somewhere in that range. Again, $92.5 to $93,000 is on the table right there. Longer time frames, we're going to keep it nice and simple. We are still very, very bullish. On the 4 hour chart, despite the fact that we had a small bearish candle, there is no bearish divergence. The MACD is still bullish. The RSI is still working on its own higher highs and higher lows. That 4 hour chart is still extremely bullish, even with a pullback down to 92.5 that stays very bullish. The daily chart, is it overextended? Absolutely. But is there a sell signal? No, there is not. The MACD is staying positive. In fact, after a slight hesitation in the MACD, it's climbing once again. Are we overbought? Heck yes, we're overbought. Are we close on the daily chart to setting up some bearish divergence on the RSI? Absolutely we are, but we're not there yet. As long as these daily candles stay bullish, we are still bullish at the moment. Even as we got close the other day to getting a sell signal with a red reversal bearish momentum, and we had the money flow getting very close to crossing below that bullish threshold, that thin green line. Look at what's happening today. Our money flow is flowing back to the upside. We have bullish momentum coming back in. That as long as we close the daily candle at or around where the current price is, does tell us that this rally is not quite over just yet. As we said also, as altcoins are falling, the Bitcoin Dominance chart continues to set new highs as well. This is a very bullish sign here for Bitcoin. So if you were thinking, man, I got to get in here and short some Bitcoin, I would urge you to be very cautious shorting during a bull market, even if we do get some sort of pullback. But I'll tell you this, if you're looking for one, it's not here just yet. I'm seeing a lot of reasons as to why we got an itsy-teensy little itty-bitty pullback maybe over the rest of the day. But the next couple of days and into the weekend still looks quite bullish. I'm going to continue to say I am on watch for 100K happening very, very soon. What happens after 100K? That's a big question. We'll talk more about tomorrow. But T-Shroom, before we transition to some other stories, any thoughts from you on this Bitcoin chart? Anything you're seeing, hearing, wondering, inquiring? Any other ings you have for us today?
Well, I mean, the 100,000 is kind of, we just saw that measured move that you did. I've shown that on a couple of meetings that I've been in today, and people have been really interested in that. The question is when, right? Because the measured move shows you where, the zone that we'll get up to, but not when. We talked about Thanksgiving yesterday and that phenomenon. I think with the momentum we've been seeing with Bitcoin, I think we could see it a lot sooner. And I do have a little bit of information of why that might be. BlackRock's option set $2 billion record shifting Bitcoin. IBIT options saw 1.9 billion in notional trades on launch, signaling serious institutional interest. This is just happening right now. This is not something that existed yesterday. A 4.4 to 1 call ratio drove Bitcoin to record highs, reflecting heavy bullish sentiment. These tools evaluate market sophistication, hedging, speculation, and premium selling strategies. Long-term overriding could stabilize volatility, whereas short-term options could amplify price swings. Bitcoin's market structure is evolving, offering deeper liquidity and professional-grade strategies. Tim, the institutional interest is serious, says Crypto Town Hall. This is why I think 100,000 before Thanksgiving is not crazy. And we've seen it We've seen it before. We've seen moves that would easily get us up to 100,000, which is only less than 6% away from where our live price is today. And that's not even from the highs that we've already seen, because obviously we've been higher than we are at the live price. So it's bullish. The options market is signaling bullish. That could change, but I do think we see 100K before Thanksgiving.
Yeah, I'm in the same boat as well. It's gonna be a fun Thanksgiving with family members. If you had some rough Thanksgivings in the past where family gives you a hard time about your Bitcoin holdings, be kind to them. It doesn't do anyone any good to be mean back to them. Just say that you wish that they would buy some more Bitcoin. We got a super chat here from Drew P. Now he's really tricky with this one, T-Shroom. I see what he's doing here, but I'm going to read it the way he wrote it, and we're going to put it that way. All right. So just understand, I'm just reading what he wrote right here. Tim, T-Shroom, Drew P here. Hello. Love you. Love your show. Drew P is my favorite bro in chat, for the record. Just saying, there can be no question.
Okay.
See what he did there? That's clippable. He could just get rid of everything I just said right beforehand. He can just clip that. He can put that up there. Drew P is my favorite bro. That's a lot like when John in the Bible writes that he talks about himself in the third person. He's like, John, Jesus' favorite disciple, the one that Jesus loved. And it's like, how coincidental that you're also the author there, John. Either way, Drew P, here's what I'll say. I love you, and you are one of my favorite bros in chat for sure. Maybe is Drew P our favorite bro in chat? Maybe he's our favorite today. Maybe
he's up
our
there
favorite today. Yeah,
he's up
Thank
there.
you so much
Smash
for that, Drew P.
the likes for Drew P. Tim, this is how I felt at Thanksgiving. Sometimes people may be able to relate to it when they all.
That's your family, actually. This is your family.
They say, well, look who showed up, the crypto expert. This Thanksgiving is going to be a little different.
All right, let's get in here. Go ahead and get on with the show. Make sure to smash that like button. I don't even think we're at 200 likes yet. We have over 750 people watching. We got another 250 watching on X. We got a lot. We have over 1,000 people in here right now. On YouTube, make sure to come into YouTube, smash the like button. We have 196 likes, and that's it. Got to get those likes a lot higher. Otherwise, Smay will cry a lot. And trust me, the man cries a good amount. Smash the like button just for Smay. Let's go into our next story here. T-Shirt, this is one near and dear to your heart. People have given you a long and hard time about this for a while now. It's not crypto community's favorite exchange, although if you come from the world of stocks the way T-Shroom did, this might have been the way you got into crypto. But we got an amazing headline here for Robinhood. A very hot prediction about Robinhood has been made over the next couple of months. What is going on with T-Shrooms? I don't know if it is your favorite exchange or not. I think it's your favorite exchange. But what's going on with Robinhood right now?
Well, it's up there. I wouldn't say it's my very, very favorite exchange. It kind of depends if I'm up or if I'm down on the day. I'm a fair weather friend when it comes to Robinhood. Bernstein is saying that Robinhood is the top crypto deregulation trade play. This is an interesting one, Tim, because if you think about it, Robinhood has played a very conservative game when it comes to being compliant with the SEC. As we reported, I believe it was last week, Robinhood is only now listing Cardano, XRP, and Solana on their platform on Robinhood. So it is, they've been really tiptoeing around, but it's a really good point, Tim, that Bernstein is pointing out here, that if we get regulatory clarity in 2024, if there's major legislation passed, Robinhood may be able to sit and rake in the fees because it is absolutely crazy how many people are on that platform that will be able to enjoy not just the new ones that have been added, Solana, Pepe, ADA, and XRP, but also all of the many other cryptos that can be added in the future. So very bullish for Robinhood, and that's not a stock that we take a look at very often. Do you have that pulled up on your chart?
I do. It's not an all-time high. So this is what the chart looks like for some people. That's not an all-time high because if you go back over here to when they went live back in August of 2021, their technical high is all the way up here at $85 per share. But since the bear market, This is absolutely continuing the last couple of days. In fact, last couple of weeks, we've just been setting nonstop highs here on Robinhood. Of course, relistings the other day of things like Cardano and XRP and others. I think Algo's on that list as well. Yeah, you're getting some crypto love. Crypto users are showing Robinhood some love. Zero fees. Some people really like that. Now, there's only so much trading in terms of like leverage trading you can do. If you want to know more about leverage trading, we use Blofin and CoinW here. We also teach people in our VIP trading group how to do it. But even if you trade on Robinhood, that VIP trading group could help you a lot. We had a nice opening today, very bullish opening, created a big gap. So even though today's candle is blue, meaning bearish on my chart, it's still a bullish candle in the sense of we closed yesterday down here at 35.25. Now we're up over 36. Let's take a look, though, at how this is feeling from an overextended position. Let's kind of evaluate here. Now, this is the bull market, right? So if we were in a sideways trading range, I would tell you guys right now, we're 100% overbought. We got massive buyers in the space. MACD is the highest it's been in a very ever long time, meaning that's the highest we've ever seen the MACD. The RSI is back to being overextended. The Luxago oscillator is back to being overextended. And I always tell people, whenever you see this bright green, this is called excessive buyers, meaning, yes, everything's bullish. Yes, money's flowing in, but it seems to be flowing in from a select few big buyers. When this bubble pops, more often than not, this oscillator falls off a cliff and comes to the downside, right? So that's normally what I would be saying in a traditional trading sense of like if you were trading sideways. We're setting new highs here. And until I see a reason to be bearish, T-Strom, I'm not going to be bearish. This oscillator absolutely could keep going higher. We're in territory, right? We're in danger territory on the Luxago oscillator of seeing some bearish divergence if this oscillator doesn't go higher. But until I get a reversal, until I see this bubble on the money flow pop and the oscillator start falling back to the background, are we at all-time highs? Are we overbought? Yes. But could we continue? Yes. Yes, we absolutely could. That's from the oscillator perspective here on the daily chart. What about the indicators here? We hit the first level of our take profit, but we could go a little bit higher here, up here towards 39.70. In fact, what I want to take a look at is a longer time frame. I want to take a look at the weekly chart, in which case I was assuming there was going to be something here. We have a major order block here in the 40s. That could be the level of resistance we're watching for, T-Shroom. Doesn't mean we reject immediately and go down. In fact, there's actually this red bar right here would suggest on the weekly chart, you got a lot of people who would get very bullish. I mean, this exhaustion, this red bar's exhaustion, it says the bears would be exhausted at this level. I don't know who's shorting it still, who's successfully shorting it, but coming back to this level of price we have not seen since September of 2021, since before the all-time high for Bitcoin, we have an order block right in here, and it's actually suggesting it's going to be temporary sell-off, but could actually be a bullish catalyst to get Robinhood to shoot even higher. So, T-Shroom, this perception, this idea of deregulation, or I don't know, deregulation, the concept that we could get a lot freer and easier to trade and invest in crypto and others, could Robinhood, would it be conveniently not just crypto, but stocks as well?
Yeah.
And you can trade crypto stocks, could be the biggest exchange winner from this whole thing. I don't think it's a crazy prediction or expectation whatsoever.
Yeah, and it's also, it doesn't have to stop there, right? Robinhood came out with like a futures trading platform and like more of like a trader friendly platform recently. And to my knowledge, there's not a lot of cryptos on there. There's some, right? But there could be a lot more, right? You could be trading your favorite pairs on Robinhood very, very soon in next year. Not like super soon, not like next week, but soon. There's not been an announcement for that, right? That's just speculation. Again, kind of going on with what Bernstein's bringing us here. But I have one more story, Tim, and then CASPA awaits us. This is the last story here, and this is breaking news as of today. Pretty cool. Trump considers creating the first ever White House crypto roll, says Bloomberg. So that leaves us a lot of room to speculate, because what the heck does that even mean? What is a role within the White House? We've heard of cabinet positions. We've heard of aides, right? We've heard of VPs, obviously. But what is a crypto role? We will more than likely find out, but it does sound bullish in a swarm of bullish news and bullish sentiment going on right now. It's a lot. It's very wild. Don't see a bearish catalyst in sight.
Yeah. That's there's a whole lot of reasons to remain bullish right now on the markets. Real quickly before we go into it, because I'm going to show this on the screen when we do CASPA. Take a look what we have not mentioned this last week and a half. If you're looking at it very, very tightly right here, this is a total crypto market cap chart. I'm going to address this here in just a couple of minutes when we talk about CASPA, but we have set a new all-time high for total crypto market cap, eclipsing the high we had way back here in November of 2021 when we did get to $3.01 trillion in market cap. Currently, at the time of making this video, we're trading at 3.05. So how about that, T-Shroom? Crypto, not just Bitcoin, crypto as a whole is trading at the highest market cap we have ever seen. And guess what? We're nowhere close to being done with that one either. It is time, ladies and gentlemen, to get into something that a lot of you guys have been asking for a couple of weeks, a price prediction for a coin that hasn't been hot recently necessarily. In fact, it really hasn't been the main conversation in crypto for, at this point, over a year. But it's going to be heating back up, and there is people in our community that have been asking about it a lot, and its name is CASPA. CASPA. Today, we're going to be giving you a price prediction for where it could be. I want to warn you, it's going to get messy here today. This is going to get very messy because we're getting into a realm here with CASPA where it gets confusing. It gets confusing on just how bullish it really could be. So stick with us throughout the entire price prediction, and I'm sure you guys are going to be very happy to see the results. Let's go to my screen. Let's start off with the first thing that anyone needs to understand when it comes to price predictions, and we were just talking about it here on the live show. But if you're watching this back later, check out our live shows, 3 p.m. every single day. We have 3 expectations as potentially where and when we could top out when it comes to the total crypto market cap. Yellow right here symbolizes an early top sometime in April of 2025, in which case we have expectations that we could about double from here and get to about a $6 trillion market valuation. All right. That is our expectation if that's the top. Now, if that's not the top and we're a little bit lower than that, I'm okay with that. But if we see an early top, my guess is we've had a nice pump. It's a last going out of sale pump up to 6 trillion in the total crypto market cap. Be ready for that one. The 4-year cycle in green, right? This is where most retail is believing crypto is going to be. It's going to top out in October of 2025. We're going to see roughly $11 trillion market cap for all of crypto. That is a very heavily viewed perception of where we could be. But there's a third option that is actually heating up. You know, I used to be one of the few people that mentioned this, but I've heard a lot more people talking about this possibility, especially over the last couple of weeks. And that's an extended cycle here that could run possibly to the end of 2026, in which case crypto could actually go up towards $20 trillion in total market cap. Why is that important? Well, if we're going to try to decide the market cap, which is a very important factor in the price prediction of CASPA, we're going to try to decide where it's going to be potentially at any point in the time. We need to understand where crypto is going to be and then potentially where CASPA is going to be to get a good understanding of its market cap. If you were watching our shows a couple months ago, we talked about how CASPA realistically could get somewhere in the 10 to 15 zone on a high end of where it's going to be ranked at the end of time, at the end of the bull market. I want to be very realistic at the moment, though. CASPA, if you go into our rankings at the moment, CASPA is sitting at number 30 right here. If you go to my screen, it's at number 30. So it's got quite a climb to get up there. It's currently got a market cap of about $3.8 billion of market cap. So what we're doing here, it's really hard as we get into some of these more, we're getting into some of these newer cryptocurrencies that there's high expectation, but we have to dabble in the world of reality as well. I'm going to be going a lot of different places here with where we potentially go. I'm going to start off with a super bullish prediction, but I'm going to cool us off here as well to make sure you understand what's happening here. Let's go over and look at the CASPA chart. If I can find it, there we go. This is the CASPA chart, currently trading at around 15 cents. The expectation here, if we do see a 10 to 15 ranking for CASPA on CoinMarketCap, historically, the coins in that rankings at the top of bull markets have roughly a 1.5% dominance. As we talked about, if we're going into, let's talk about April of 2025, we're going to go a little lower than that. We're actually going to go 0.5 because I don't think CASPA makes it in the top 15 by then. But let's give it a 0.5% dominance. That would give us a market cap for CASPA of $30 billion in total market cap? Well, the supply of Caspa is going to be in the world of 25 billion. 775 million tokens in circulation. Quick math there, 30 billion divided by 27.7 billion gives us a price prediction of $1.16, somewhere right in here. I'm not going to get it. Oh, look at that. Got it perfectly right there. This would give us a price prediction by April. If we get, and this would be top 20 coin, by the way, this would get us to 116, a 7x from current prices of Caspa's price. This would be amazing. I told you I'm going to start bullish and then give you some more realistic expectations. If Caspa stays where it currently is, around number 30, the expectation is we should only have about a 0.25% dominance, in which case that changes us from having a $30 billion market cap to only having a $15 billion market cap. That also changes the price prediction from being at 116 all the way down here to about 58 cents, give or take. If I can put a line right there as well, I'm going to put there for your viewership. There we go right there. That is only going to be roughly a 3, almost 4x for Caspa by April of 2025, right? So that's a range you're looking at for early top. If Caspa stays where it currently is, we're only talking about 58 cents. If it starts to make major moves and gets into the top 20, we're talking about $1.16. Either way, this isn't life-changing money. This isn't, neither one of them was even a 10x in price action. That's what happens if we had an early top. But let's talk about the 4-year cycle. Let's go super bullish, and then I'll back off and kind of go more realistic. Let's say it stays around where it currently is. Well, instead of just making the top 20, I told you it could be anywhere between number 10 and 15, and that dominance is going to be about 1.5%. Well, if crypto's at 11 trillion and we had 1.5% dominance for Caspa, that would give us on a high end an $165 billion valuation for Caspa's market cap. Well, the supply will increase by this time, increasing over 26.5 billion tokens in circulation. And this would give us a price prediction right here of roughly $6.22, a whole heck of a lot higher. I'm not going to get quite there. Let's go 624. But of course, this is a much, much, much larger gain for Caspa holders. If this comes true, we're talking about a 41x this time next year, roughly, for our 4-year cycle top, with it being a top 10 coin. That could be very, very cool. Realistically, though, again, I want to make sure we're setting the right expectation here. If it stays around number 30, kind of creeps maybe towards number 20, let's give it a 0.5% dominance. That gives us a valuation of a $55 billion market cap divided by that $26.5 billion supply. It gives us a realistic price prediction of 207. All right, so way down here, 206, good enough for government work, as they say. That would be our expectation. Let's change these into green. Let's change these our green predictions. These are marking our yearly early top. We'll go yellow here, and we'll make the longer time frame ones blue. So let me adjust right there. Either way, though, that's still, if we were to just get to above $2 for Caspa, where you currently are, you're still looking at a 13x, right? So a year from now, anywhere between a 13 and a 41x, not that bad. Not that bad whatsoever. That is some good money. That's reasons that you should be holding Caspa. But now let's get super crazy with it, right? This is the one that everyone thinks that I'm nuts about. We'll have to wait and see, but let's pretend that I'm right, that retail thinks at the end of the cycle will be 4 years, but institutions decide, you know what, we're going to fake them all out, and we're going to go to the higher end of this. We're going to go even further into 2026, no recession in 2025. The markets just keep getting more bullish and bullish and bullish, and we use the end of 2025 as a catalyst for institutions to gobble up more supply. We could see at a 1.5% dominance on the high end of what Caspa is capable of doing, we could see a $300 billion market cap. The supply by the end of 2026 of Caspa would be 27.6 billion tokens in circulation. So if you do that math really quickly, again, 300 billion divided by 27.6 billion, we're going to have a price prediction. Catch your breath right here. Get ready for it. We're going to talk about a prediction of $10.86. I'm going to get close to it. $10.85. This changes a lot of things. If you were to buy right now, and I'm right about this, we're talking about a price prediction of a 70x. 70xing your investment from right now. I'm not talking about 70xing from where we were way back in May of 2023. That one's a lot crazier. That would be more like a what do we have here? 90x or more. No, that's 90x there. 900x? I don't even know. That's absolutely insane. I'm not talking about those people. I'm just talking about people right here. Yeah, 900x if that for those people. I'm just talking about casual people buying right now. That would be absolutely massive. But again, we're going to give you the realistic expectation. Let's say we don't get to being a top 10 coin. Let's say we're still hovering around number 20, give or take for KASPA. That's a 0.5 dominance. That would only give us a market cap of $100 billion. That would be a price prediction. Instead of going up here towards, instead of going up to $10, we actually only make it to $3.62. Let me change these lines, and I got to readjust them as well. 362 right in here. Good enough for government work. Let's make that blue. Let's make this blue. Boom. Instead of being 90x, grab the wrong one here. There we go. This would give us a valuation roughly in the world of 23x, right? So as long as we don't have an early top in KASPA, we are talking about bare minimum for KASPA holders. A 4-year cycle top would still give us a price prediction or an increase of a 13x, 1,200%. High end, though, we still have potentially a 70x on the table. That is my KASPA price prediction. Different options. We got to end it, though, with what I think is the most likely. And historically, when I've been doing these price predictions, I've told you that I'm a big fan of things making it longer and extending longer, that institutions are going to pick it up and extend the cycle to get new tops later on. Now, I'm not saying there won't be, if that does happen, I'm not saying KASPA won't have any form of a longer-term extension, but KASPA is the first coin on this list we've talked about so far that I don't believe is going to have necessarily the institutional adoption that maybe some other coins do. I think retail is really going to like it. I think there's aspects where institutions dabble in KASPA, but if you love KASPA and you don't want me to say anything negative, close your ears real quick, because this is the first coin I'm going to say I actually think the top is the 4-year cycle. Even if the rest of the crypto space continues because institutions use that excuse to buy dips and extend us in the end of 2026, I think we could see it's kind of similar to what we saw with some altcoins back in 2021, where we had two tops, May of 2021 and November of 2021. Some altcoins set their tops in May and didn't see the new high later on in the bull market. KASPA is a coin that I think is a candidate for this type of action, where we actually see the high happen in October of 2025. And even though we get a big pullback and then a resurgence in price by the end of 2026, it does not set an all-time high. For that reason, I'm putting my prediction, my expectation for the top of this market somewhere between $2 on the low end and $6.24 on the high end. That is my KASPA price prediction. What is yours? Let me know in the comments, in the chat. What did I get right? What did I get wrong? Where am I crazy? Where am I on to something? And also, what other coins do you guys want to see price predictions on? That concludes mine. What is yours? Let me know. T-Shroom, what are you thinking here? I went on that was my longer one, a longer price prediction. A lot of stuff happening there. A lot more balls to juggle is the best way to put it.
Right.
So what are your thoughts right now with KASPA? You and I are both bullish on it, but what are your thoughts about how high this coin actually can get?
Yeah, no, it was good. I think that was a really good price prediction. Really well thought out. I saw a comment in the chat. Crypto Stevo said, I don't see the allure of KASPA for noobs. So that's an interesting one there, because this price prediction is very reliant on retail being a big part of the equation. There is a bit of a point there, because it's not going to be as alluring as a coin like Solana that's spinning off all these retail applications like meme coins, NFTs, and things like that that's going to attract, the everyday retail investor. But one thing that is coming up for for KASPA is the crescendo hard fork to 10 BPS, right? This is something that folks are looking forward to. This is something that's going to be very, very bullish, and that content can be made about and that folks can get excited about. So there are definitely more catalysts in the future for KASPA, not to mention the other tier 1 listings that can be happening in the future. Maybe even for Robinhood. I saw someone point out in the future. That'd be crazy. I never would have thought about Caspa being on Robinhood. But yeah, Coinbase, Binance, Gemini, many others have yet to list Caspa. When they do, that could continue to bring more liquidity to the coin.
I'll tell you what's going to get excitement about Caspa, and this answer is going to go for every coin out there. Don't overplay hype. Don't overthink hype. Cardano was once dead in 2020, and then it started to take off, and then people just jumped on the train. I mean, I remember in Crypto Steve-O, I think you were here for this as well. You remember this as well. It was like a train left the station and people were just running to get on board, right? A lot of people didn't even know what they were signing up for. Yeah, Charles Hoskinson was a great salesman. He kind of gave this vision of a really bright future and really cool. We all know the Caspa hasn't really lived up to expectation from a development standpoint, from a functional standpoint, until more recently. But it rode all of 2021 with a whole lot of hype and a lot of momentum. So where's the demand going to come for with what is happening here? It's going to come from when things start moving, people look for a train to jump on, and I think Caspa is going to be one of them because it really does solve. Caspa does solve for a lot of issues in the space. And this goes back to a conversation we had the other night with the X-Base thing that whole went south. You know, the guy was kind of trying to say there's only a need for one crypto.
The troll.
Listen, if you think there's only going to be one crypto in the future, you're just kidding yourself. I'm not saying there's going to be still a million. Like we are going to whittle down how many cryptocurrencies are actually needed. But there's at least going to be 10 major altcoins needed for the future because they all solve for different things. And honestly, the things that Caspa is looking to solve for, I don't think that it has good competition that does it better and more effectively than it does. So at this point, what we're really waiting on with Caspa is the dominoes to fall with the number one listings, right? The top tier listings. We got Kraken, right? But as T-Stream said, maybe the next one's Gemini, and then Coinbase and Binance. I still hold to the fact I think it's just a matter of time. It's a matter of when, not if. It's a top 30 coin, despite the fact that it just got listed on one of the major exchanges. I see brighter days ahead, and I see that hype train being very intriguing. And last thing I'll say here, just remember last cycle. Remember the way retail thinks. Some of us were here, and we were texting with friends and talking with friends, and our friends were asking us what cryptos to buy, and we're sitting here telling them, "Oh, look at Bitcoin and look at Ethereum and our friends are saying, "Yeah, but what about SafeMoon? And what about Shiba Inu?" At the time, Shiba Inu was brand spanking new. My point is, people will hear something on social media or a TikTok or something. They'll see it has, in the last month, increased by 300%, and they won't even ask any questions. They'll just buy. That's how retail does things. Luckily, Caspa is a solid enough project that if people did that, there's actually some value to it as well. But that's also one of the reasons why, T-Shroom, this is the first coin of my list that I'm actually saying I think the top happens in 2025 and not 2026. I think it rallies really high in 2025 and doesn't get the same push in 2026 that some of these other coins that are way more institutionally friendly actually end up getting. Hot take there, Crux isn't going to like it. I think Caspa is his favorite coin, and I like it. I plan on probably taking profit on Caspa this time next year.
There you go. That's a hot take. And yes, there are other blockchains that are fast, like Caspa. But remember, Caspa's proof of work, right? It's got that. It's a cousin of Bitcoin in that way, right? It's got that unique connection to Bitcoin, and Bitcoin is the winning coin this cycle, by far, right? And winning to the right pockets, the right wallets, which is institution. So.
Yeah, Times New Roman said, "What do you guys think of SafeMoon?" Fun story on SafeMoon. I've told this before.
Funny.
My wife, because we were tracking it, we knew it was a scam a mile away. My wife though comes to me last cycle. She had like $50 she invested in crypto, and she's like, "What do you think about SafeMoon?" I was like, "Do not buy SafeMoon." She's like, "Well, fun story." So I bought SafeMoon, and I was like, oh, "Okay." Like it was only $50, but I was like, "What caused you to buy SafeMoon?" And Taylor might be watching right now. So Taylor might try to deny this, but this is honestly her reason. My brother saw a TikTok on it. That's it. No greater reason. Her brother saw a TikTok on SafeMoon, and that was enough for her to buy. I do not think that my wife Taylor was the only person to fall for it in that kind of way. So there's going to be more just like that. be wary of it, but I think Caspa's legit. I think Caspa's going to have some fun, but just wait for it to catch momentum. Wait for it to be a headline story, and people are going to invest just because it's the bell of the ball.
Absolutely. All right. Well, speaking of the bell of the ball, we've got the factoid of the day coming to us. But Tim, we've got some new exciting developments on the Lux Algo front.
We do.
So this factoid of the day is brought to you all by something special. Tim, you want to take it away?
Yes. Okay. So we have been teasing this for a while. We told you it would happen sometime. We were hoping earlier mid-November. It's kind of late mid-November, but it's still mid-November, right? So we're within our time frame. But as of today, if you guys are looking in the description, you might have seen something new in the description right below some of the details. And it is that we are launching today our personalized indicator package. Go to my screen here, T-Stream. When you click on that link right there, custom indicators, you'll see that good-looking guy. No hat. It's okay. With that crazy thumb right there that I broke in a football game back in high school. But this is the landing page you're going to need to go to purchase our brand new personalized indicators. We have a liquidations indicator. You guys have seen me use it on the show. You now can actually go use that one. I'll show you here in a second. We have our Bros Toolkit where it combines, you'll have your not only your Bollinger Bands, but our tried and true tested fixed range volume profile. Also, you guys see right here in this corner, our RSI table where you can at any time, you don't have to keep jumping from chart to chart, or you don't have to jump from time frame to time frame to time frame. At any one time, you can see how things are overextended, underextended. That's a big one. And then the last one here, a correlation tracker where you can easily track what's the correlation, say, between Bitcoin and gold, say, between Bitcoin and NASDAQ, between Ethereum and Bitcoin, Solana and Ethereum. These are all things you can come on here and use. I want to show you guys. Let's go to this one, actually. Let's go to Bitcoin. I want to show you how these things look. If you guys have not seen us use them, my favorite, personally, is this liquidations. You guys know I used to jump over to other tools to look at heavy levels of liquidity. Now, I can do it right here on TradingView, and you can too with that link down below. You can see the levels where longs and shorts have the highest levels of liquidity. Great targets for putting your entries, your stop losses, your take profits. This is going to be a fantastic tool. Also, while mine has a different name, it says Ultimate. It's the same package here. Like I said, Bollinger Bands, your levels that tells you was that volume hit, a high volume hit, a low volume hit on the reversal. You also, if you set it up, and this is I'm going to teach people how to set it up, but if you were to go into these, let's go, where's my ultimate? I haven't set up the new one yet. I have the testing one. What happened? Come on now. Let's do this again. There we go. You have to, oh, what the heck? Why is it doing this? There we go. You can set it up to where you have the time frame on your fixed range volume profile. What I love about this, you guys know I talk heavily. I love the point of control. I love the value area high, value area low, but you'll see these other blue lines on here, and these are lines where you have gaps in volume. And a lot of times the gaps in volumes are the greatest levels of support and resistance. This automatically tells you where the most significant levels are, and you can see these lines were used heavily for support and resistance. Very, very good tool. We'll show you more in future content how to go about using them. But today, go check on that link and go sign up for your Investing Bros indicator. The good news is, and it's not here yet, so if you want to wait a little bit, we are working with Luxalgo at the moment to get for all of our members. So if you are an Ultimates member, if you're a VIP trader, you purchase Luxalgo with our link and you're in our trading group, we're working to get you guys 50% off discounts. So you can get 50% off. For everybody else, though, go ahead and go sign up today. And hey, if you want to go deeper, this won't replace Luxalgo Premium. In fact, I got another teaser for you. We're doing a lot of teasers here today. We got another thing coming out here very, very soon. You guys are going to want to pay attention to a big update on Luxalgo with their ultimate package. Some of you guys you're going to want to upgrade because I already love what Luxalgo does. I already kind of think of Luxalgo like a cheat code when it comes to trading. This new update they're about to launch, and we're going to be one of the first people actually talking about it and using it, is literally a cheat code for setting up trading strategies. If you struggle to track and look at what coins, what strategies you use for what coins, their new indicators will have personalized strategies based off the time frame, based off the asset. You're not going to want to miss it. Shout out to Luxalgo again for sponsoring this stream and being such a huge partner of the Bros community. Why are they our favorite partner? Because we're all about trading here, and they are the ultimate trading tool. Go check them out. The link's down below. Very good stuff. The cool thing also, when you use Lux Algo indicators, this is such a great sales pitch. You also get $500. If you have the chance to win $500 at the end of every month, we do a $500 giveaway. If you're not signed up for Lux Algo with our link and you're not in our Discord, I don't know what you're doing. You just don't like money, I guess. Yeah.
That's what it sounds like.
About to have our factoid today. Real quickly, super chat from Ilios Kamatikis says NVIDIA results here. I'm pretty sure I butchered that name. NVIDIA results are not here, I believe. I think those are coming out after 4:30, correct, T-Shroom?
They might be out here, and then they're not going to be out yet because it's only
not yet.
4 seconds.
The day's not closed yet. Yeah,
but we will get to them after the factoid when they come out. So
it's 4:30. It's going to be here in about half an hour.
Okay, cool. All right, let's go ahead and jump on into the factoid of the day, Tim, for our gamers and for our miners. Which NVIDIA GPU was the first to introduce real-time ray tracing? Was it A, 4060, B, 2080, C, 3080, or D, 3090?
I don't even know what real-time ray tracing is. So this is legitimately an eeny, meeny, miny, mo.
Bruh.
B, 2080. I don't.
Why do you say that?
Because I eeny, meeny, miny, moed it very quickly in my head. I went with B.
Okay.
I feel like we haven't had B as the right answer here recently.
All right.
I can't use help from chat. Chat probably knows this. I don't even know what real-time ray tracing is. So I'm just gonna randomly throw B out there.
Let's see if he's got it.
Oh, would you look at that? Sometimes eeny, meeny, miny, mo works.
This is one of those times where I'm actually pretty surprised you got it right. And I have to remind the audience, I do not tell Tim what the right answer is. But indeed, the first NVIDIA GPU to introduce real-time ray tracing was the GeForce RTX 2080 and the 2080 Ti. Chat, help me out here.
Yeah.
Whoever has the best explanation about what ray tracing is, we really need to know. We're going to stick around here to wait for, or to verify that NVIDIA's...
We're going to stick around for half an hour?
No.
Oh, okay.
I just want to make sure that it's not right after the close.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I saw someone confirm in chat it's at 4:30. We will be live because on Wednesdays, as soon as we're done here, all of our members, our YouTube members, our Discord members, our VIP traders, we have what we call bros time every Wednesday at 4 o'clock. So we'll be live with the bros here right after the show is over. And we'll be able to discuss then what the NVIDIA earnings looks like.
Yep.
I'll tell you this, the other thing is we'll announce it in Discord. If you are looking for a community to stay up to date, of course, I'm sure you guys love our daily live shows. Most of you are here every single day. We love you being here, smashing the like, hitting subscribe, joining our YouTube community, but go join our free Discord. Even if you're not ready to join the paid levels and get further into your investing and trading education, you can join our free level and you get updates and thoughts and great conversations with people just like you all day, every day. You need to go join that Discord right this second. Our members, we'll talk here in just a second, a couple minutes in Bros Time. Cannot wait for it. But Teacher Room, before we wrap it up and send people on their merry way, anything you have for the people?
Just keep on hodling. I've been tempted a couple of times to start taking profits. It just does not make rational sense. It makes a lot of emotional sense, Tim. Right now, it'd be so nice to lock in some of these profits. And It may not be the worst thing in the world to lock in, maybe 5-10% at this level, especially if you are a little closer to retirement, maybe de-risk a little bit. But for those of you who are in this for the generational wealth, just fight what you can. Do not capitulate here. We are so far from the end of the bull market as it relates to what history is telling us. So just don't make any emotional decisions. Make rational decisions. And if your pre-made rational decision includes selling a little here, then follow that plan. But if you have not been planning to sell yet, then don't.
Yeah, for the closing thoughts of the day from Tim, I can't remember where this quote is from, but it doesn't really matter who it's from. There's a quote that says, like, if I had to chop a tree down and I had an hour, I would spend 50 minutes sharpening the blade. Of course, what this is talking about is preparation is 90% of the process of success. And a lot of people want to get into the world of investing. They want to get into the world of whatever they're doing, and their health in the kitchen, their health in the weight room, their relationships. Everyone wants to get in and start doing whatever they want to do. But a lot of times we neglect the preparation, we neglect the education, we neglect setting up the process, creating the plan to make sure we're executing whatever we're working to solve at a high level. And I think there's a lot of you guys out there who are just like that. If you have been frustrated recently with your investing, with your trading, maybe even frustrated in the gym or in the kitchen or in relationships or something else in your life, I encourage you to slow down, stop, sharpen the blade. Create a plan. Make sure you're instilling all of the values you need for long-term success and not just running into any project at 110 miles an hour with a dull blade. Go sharpen your axes, everybody. Love you. We'll see you tomorrow. Adios.